In this video, I'm going to talk about implicit functions. So when we're doing engineering problems, we sometimes find that we come across an equation something like this one over here. For example, if I'm solving a differential equation, which we'll be doing later, it's not uncommon that we come across something like this. Now, if I could take this formula and solve for y, then I'd have a normal, good function. But it turns out that you can't solve this for y. You can't rearrange and make y the subject. And that gives us what we call an implicit function. Implicit here means a hidden function. In practice, that still gives us a curve. For instance, this implicit function here, if I put it into my graphing software, will give me this blue curve over here. The way the computer works that curve out is what it does is it will basically choose some values of x. So imagine you've got a table of some x values, and let's say I take x equals 0, and then the computer will take x and plug 0 into that part of the formula there. So this will give me 0 plus sine of y equals 1, and then solve the resulting equation for y. So here, if I have sine of y equals 1, you will know from what we've done before that that means that y has to equal pi over 2. Okay, and then the computer will take another value of x. So let's say x equals 0.1, some small value, and plug that into this part of the formula here. So I'll get 0.1 times by y plus sine of y equals 1, and then solve that formula for y. So that's quite a difficult formula to solve, but you can do it by perhaps drawing a graph and work out what the y value is, and that will give you some number that you're going to put over here. Now, I don't honestly know what the answer is, but it'll be some number. And then likewise, the computer will select another value of x, so x equals 0.2, and again calculate whatever the resulting y value is. And likewise, maybe a negative value over here, and again calculate the y value from this formula. And then by plotting each of these x-y pairs on the graph, it'll give you, on the plane, it'll give you a graph like this. Okay, so that's what an implicit function is. If I have an implicit function, I will still use this notation. I'll still say y as a function depending on the variable x, and it just means that, as you can see, that for each value of x, I'm going to get a different value of y. So y does depend on x. So the next question is, given my implicit function like this one, can I find the slope? So can I find dy by dx? You can see if you've got the picture, you can actually work out the slope at each point, but is there a formula to calculate the slope?